The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Sakamoto Properties, where prestige is our business, reputation our foundation. Hey,
Sakamoto
Maui.
Properties, #1 in exclusive real estate.
Hey, Maui, wake up and buy some real estate. It is time. I have here Mitch Mitchell, who's there kind of throwing out our specialty logo, which maybe he'll get for us again. And we're going to share a bunch of things with you. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing great, Betty. How are you?
Perfect.
You know, Betty, I know you know, but I was off island for the weekend, and I kind of wanted to mention coming back to the island from San Francisco. And, you know, it kind of hit me again how our visitors, it's visitor season, and they're coming back, and how excited they are. And, you know, a lot of them first-time visitors to Maui, and they wanted to know what to do and where to go. And there were a lot of many-time return visitors. And, you know, it really helped me appreciate where I live, you know, seeing the excitement in all their faces. And the kids were talking about snorkeling and, you know, all this great stuff. And it just kind of brought back to me, you know, how fortunate we are to live here. And also to remember that these visitors, you know, are our friends. They're the ones that help our economy roll along. They're the ones that, you know, help bring life to the island. And I just have to remember that to thank them for being here. You know, a lot of times we think, oh, look at the traffic and, you know, oh, my gosh, it's that time of year again. And I forget the whole purpose. You know, this is a wonderful place, and what a pleasure it is to be able to share it with the world.
You know, Mitch, one of the things that I think really is super is when you're traveling like that, and I know you do it, we do it, and all of us from Maui should do it. You know, you sit next to someone in an airport or on a plane, and they're coming to Maui, and like you say, maybe first visit, maybe 100th visit. But you start sharing with them a little bit of information, some new restaurants you might tell them about that you really love. You might talk about things that your friends have done or that you've done here on Maui and get people really hyped. And then they're out. By the time they're off the plane, they're really thanking you. They're trying to figure out what it is that we all do as local residents. So I think you're right, Mitch. I mean, it is a big thing when we see our visitors, and let's all take care of them. Let's remember the live aloha.
That's just absolutely great.
It is. It's super.
It was fun seeing everybody so excited about arriving in Maui.
It is good. You know, the Live Aloha, we've been talking the last couple of shows about Live Aloha and what it really means. And one of the things that we've been saying is let's all remember to spread aloha when we're driving, to remember that. People are driving too fast. We've all seen some horrible accidents that have happened. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're all too much in a hurry. We who live here, our visitors, we're all rushing to get to the next thing. Usually when we're driving, we're still driving, and it's beautiful out. We're seeing something all the time. We don't have to save an extra 2 minutes getting somewhere that might get us or somebody else injured. So let's all be careful. And I think if we do truly live aloha, we aren't going to do that. We aren't going to speed. We're not going to drive recklessly. So I think that's another thing, Mitch, that I think is really important for all of us, is to remember live aloha.
Absolutely. You know, from driving the freeways in San Francisco and California that get back to our 2-lane roads, just enjoy what we have.
Enjoy it. Well, Mitch, here we are again. We've got some different real estate things that we really want to talk about. Some Sakamoto Properties. Here's an interesting thing for you. Go to our website, sakamotoproperties.com, on your smartphone. You will automatically get the easy-to-use mobile version of our website where you can search for any of our listings or the entire multiple listing service. So you can find almost anything. It's really easy to use. And again, your smartphone, just go to sakamotoproperties.com. Another thing that we're thinking is we get calls from time to time about people who are listening to the show, and it's always fun what they're telling us. Well, if you're listening to the show today, email us. You can do it through our website. Go to sakamotoproperties.com and then contact us. Or you can email us at info, I-N-F-O, at sakamotoproperties.com. But let us know that you're listening and some things that you might want to hear in the future, or let us answer any question for you that we can answer. Because you should be buying real estate. And when I said that earlier, it's true. Wake up, Maui. Let's do it. Let's buy real estate. Not let's the investors and everybody come in and take up the great deals. You got a chance right now also. You've had a couple of people and a couple of transactions, Mitch, that I think have been interesting, properties that we think will be good for, second home someone, or for what I'm kind of thinking is the person who's going to live here all the time. Even the Maui Eldorado, great place to live, easy living for someone, that's just looking even for a first time, probably a studio. But I think that's a property, and there's so many others that we've got right now that I think between us and the complete board of realtors.
The Maui Eldorado, Betty, is one that is easily, forgotten because it's kind of hidden away. It's old Hawaii, and, there's cement buildings, so we've got sound protection, and they start as, a studio up to a two-bedroom. You and I have a new listing coming on right down in front there.
Right, J121.
J121.
We'll have more information on that next week, but
it's right down on the golf course, and it's just a short little walk over. Maui Eldorado is the one that has that great pavilion right down on the beach, right in the middle of Ka'anapali. So we forget, the quietness there, and you're kind of close to all the nightlife and dazzle of
That's right.
Ka'anapali, but yet removed from it, so it's not so right in your face all the time.
There's
Great
swimming
property.
pools. Four swimming pools there.
Absolutely.
It's really great underground parking, covered parking, really pretty amazing. And the landscaping, you're never going to see that again in Maui, where you have so few units on such a huge piece of land in the heart of a major resort. Got to see it. Got to think about it.
Yeah, it's so quiet and kind of removed, but it's right there in the center of all the action in that huge, great beach, and that's where all the boats load for snorkel and sailing trips. It's a fantastic location.
Pretty amazing beach. One of the places too, Mitch, that some of our listings, Ainanalu and Maui Lani Terraces. Just a couple of places that I think right now, from the standpoint of a resident trying to get in to a first-time property, one of the ones at Maui Lani Terraces listed at $149,500, very turnkey, one bedroom, one bath, tiled kitchen, bath, really super. Pergo floors throughout the rest of the unit. It's perfect, and it's an easy one to just get in there, move in, and enjoy the moment. So I think there are some interesting properties if you are thinking you just want to get into something, so that eventually you can move up from it.
Betty, that would be a great little vacation hideaway for somebody that lives up in Haiku or Kula, to be able to come down and stay, on the west side of the island, and, walk to the restaurants and kind of a little staycation, as we used to say.
It isn't. You're right, Mitch. A lot of people do that here that live up country, and we have somebody right now that lives in South Maui, Wailea, that's looking to buy a property at Kapalua because they like both sides of the island for different reasons. They've got a family, and I think it would be really exciting to see that happen. Usually when someone does it, they're just buying a small condo as just a place to have and rent it out when they're not here or when they're not over on the west side. But these people are actually thinking they like both. They like the differences, and they would just have a whole house that they would keep for themselves and their family at Kapalua, even though at the moment they're primarily living in Wailea. So it's interesting, Mitch, especially right now because there's so many great deals, unbelievable interest rates, etc. So it's a pretty amazing thing.
Well, you know, Betty, I've got that Bay Villa 15B3. That's got fantastic views, and you know, it's a great rentable property if you're not going to be here. And it's listed at $975. It's a 1-bedroom, bath and a half, townhouse floor plan, entry on the street level, and these huge views. And I think they have 3 swimming pools and 2 tennis courts, and right in the heart of Kapalua. And I think it's a very rentable condo, so that when you're not here, you know, you'll have some income to help defer the maintenance fees and so forth. And I actually have it short-term rented at the moment, but the people that are renting it, I have arranged with 24-hour notice we can get in. Which, remember, Betty, is always one of the problems this time of year, is that rentals are so good and our visitors are here. It's difficult to get in on short notice to view some of the listings. But this is one that I'm able to show within 24 hours. So it's Bay Villa 15 B3. So please keep that in mind. It'd be a great second home, income property, you know.
Great views. I mean, that really is a super one. And for anyone that's been trying to look at properties right now, it is pretty amazing because at a time that we're flooded with people looking, you know, we've got so many places that you actually can't get into view. So give us a call and let us work with you. Give us an idea what your wants and needs are. Call us at 808-669-0070, 808-669-0070, and tell us what your wants and needs are. Talk to one of us and let us figure out what it is that you need. You know, we can get you in contact with some great mortgage lenders, and that's really a key, is to take a moment ahead of time and talk to a lender. You know, as long as you're here, it'll take minutes. We can do it on the phone with you. We can have you walk in and sit down and meet somebody. But again, this is the time, Mitch. This is the time to be buying real estate.
This is the time. It's amazing, you know, the golf villas up there at Kapalua, there were so many reasonably priced up there, and now they're primarily gone. There's only a couple left. You know, a lot of investors took advantage of that. And so it's time that we keep some of it at home, too. So,
well, in any event, you know, between looking for residential homes, I think that we can sit down with you, again, figure out, without trying to just keep listing properties for you, talk to one of us or talk to your own real estate agent if you've got someone that you've been working with. We really would like to have you get into your home this year, and the sooner the better. None of us have that special wand that's going to tell us when interest rates are going back up. So I think right now you're going to get a really great price for what you're purchasing and an amazing interest rate, which will give you a payment that you'll be able to afford for the 30 years that you're going to have that mortgage. Having said 30 years, also keep in mind that in most cases, it's not your final resting place. So you've got to look, you've got to find something that you can live with for today and get into a home. There's no reason to rent forever unless you just want to make somebody else's mortgage payment and let them go with, you know, the increase in market value. So call us. You know, we can really help you. Call us. Any other? You said, Mitch, that listing at Phase 2 Pineapple Hill Estates, really nice property that you've got listed, huge view. You've been showing that quite a bit. What do you think at this point? Are we going to be able to keep getting in there? Do they have friends in town? Adams?
Yeah, that's a great house and reasonably priced. They are here a lot, but they have left now. And even if they're here, you know, it's their second home, so they will, with a little bit of notice, they will leave for the day so that we can show it. It's a beautiful 3-bedroom, 4-bath, built around a courtyard, great views over the swimming pool to the sunset. And, they have a big media room there, and they've already plumbed next to us so we could have another bathroom and another bedroom if someone chose to.
That makes a lot of sense. The biggest thing to me with that house is, like you say, the entry courtyard, which is pretty amazing, and I'm always trying to come up with different ideas for how I'd like to see that used. And then as you go out to the view, huge, huge deck areas, absolutely magnificent. So for family living, a family lifestyle, it couldn't be better. And the entry area, which is totally enclosed with children, I think is a great area. You could really have kids playing there if you were concerned about them being out near the pool. So I think this house has so much to offer for a family.
Absolutely. It's a family that spends a third of the year there now. But I hadn't thought about the front courtyard as a safe place for small children to play and keep them away from the swimming pool.
A couple of places, 100 Aloha, Mitch and I have this listed at $2,450,000, 2 acres in Kahana, really great view, upgraded home. It has 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and an outdoor bath also, which is kind of nice, and a 2-bedroom, 1-bath ohana. One of the things, Mitch, that we've talked about quite a bit is the sod farm.
The sod farm.
People love the idea of that.
Yeah, it's great, and it's one of those 2 acres that every inch of it is under landscape. So, it gives you a nice, quiet, comfortable feel with all the green around you, and they really did a beautiful job with the inside of that home. Nice
stained glass front door, so you enter, it's beautiful, you look straight out immediately. I mean, it's a big, great room, gourmet kitchen. The view is everywhere, massive island bar, for the family to sit around, commanding sunset views, everything. The working sod farm, people look at that, and when they think about it, it really gives you way more benefits than you would ever believe. And we can touch on those when you give us a call if that's something you'd be interested in. Another newer listing, Mitch, is that 4800 Lower Honoapialani Road, almost 15,000 square feet of land, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Listed at $1,499,000. That's another house that I think is quite amazing for what it is. It's in spots. It's almost 2 levels or kind of step-up areas. And you're right across from the ocean, so that when you're standing outside, you are definitely nothing is between you and the ocean.
And boy, the surf's been great lately, and so you really hear it and realize where you are and what's going on.
Have you noticed, Mitch, no matter where you are right now at night, you can see the surf? I mean, you can hear the surf. I guess you can't see it. You can hear the surf. It's been stunning to me, because we live up on a hillside. But when you listen, you can, at nighttime, it's pounding. All of a minute, we'll look at what is that? It's the surf. So almost wherever you are today, you're going to hear the surf.
The surf's been great, and it's great seeing all the surfers out there and all the cars out on the points. People enjoying it.
Yeah. Back a little bit to Kapalua, a lot of you probably either watched on television or were at the golf tournament this last weekend before already, I guess, because we just finished the Sony in Honolulu. But the Hyundai Tournament of Champions, we had kind of a little bit of bad weather going on and wind, which stopped play quite a bit. So the first couple of days they got started, but then had to wipe out all the scores and start over again. It ended up being a tournament that Monday had 36 holes and went to Tuesday, which almost never happens, for 18 holes. But I'll tell you, if you wanted to see some fabulous play, you realize why they say these guys are good.
I can't imagine trying to swing a club out there, let alone hit the ball with that heavy breeze that was going on. But I was getting phone calls from all over the country, people, seeing it. It was hitting their hometown newspapers. So
it was pretty interesting, and everybody here had a different attitude. Everybody here was saying, "Why aren't they playing? We'd be playing. we'd be out there. We've been out there on days like that where a ball won't sit on the green, etc. But the PGA Tour does have standards that they play to. And, they couldn't because of winds and certain holes. Otherwise, they probably would have kept going and played. But they were troopers. And, again, they give so much to charity. The PGA Tour, and here at Kapalua, it is amazing what they give to charity. So we sure applaud them, and it was pretty amazing to see what they all did and how fun they were.
I volunteer for Holly Makua out there at the tournament for 20 years now, and it was a little interesting. It wasn't quite as wet as it's been sometimes, but keeping everything nailed down was pretty interesting.
Yeah, the wind was the killer, but it wasn't always exactly where you were. It was when you got up to certain holes on the golf course that it was pretty amazing. Another interesting thing going on right now, and you'd have to call us at 808-669-0070 if you wanted to try to help at all. But there's a dog out on the plantation golf course, and he's usually around, or she is usually around the sixth hole. They call her Girly, and she's been there, I think, at least 5 years. I could be exaggerating, but they've found a way to get her a home, and people are working really, really hard to get. She comes down, she'll run around the golf course, she kind of plays with people, but she won't get close enough for you to get her. And there's some amazing vets here on Maui that are helping the girls on the cart, the food cart at the plantation course, where they're trying to catch her. And they've got a plan for her to get a little more domesticated and a home, a permanent, everyday home for her. But it is beginning to cost more money between some of the services that they're needing to make this happen. So if it's something you'd be interested in helping with, it's just a little special feel-good project that somebody's doing. But Girly is getting help from a lot of people, and if it's anything you'd like to help us a little bit with, give us a call, 669-0070, and maybe you've even got some ideas for us. Again, back a little bit to real estate. We're going to be winding down fairly quickly now. So we're going to come up with maybe a couple of interesting moments in real estate or interesting properties, let's say. We're just finding, we're getting back to that time that people are realizing that they should be buying. I've been a little worried about our residents that are kind of passing up some of the deals because they're forgetting to get out there and what it takes to actually buy a home. And really, it just takes talking to someone, talking to a lender, talking to their realtor. Don't you find, Mitch, that when you get somebody that you're working with who will actually, if you can get them to the lender, they will probably learn that they can buy something.
Exactly, or find out what they need to do so that they do get themselves in that position before it's too late.
Right. Yeah, sometimes your lender, Mitch, is going to tell you to maybe, well, number one, they'll often say, don't buy a new car right now. You can do it later, but right now, let's just be sure your credit's as cleaned up as it can be. They might spend a year helping you clean up your credit. But let us help you do that. Let us help you get to a lender, figure out what it is you need to do to buy property. Call the agent that you know, your realtor. But if you don't have somebody, call us, 669-0070. You can reach us through the website, sakamotoproperties.com. You'll find Mitch on there. You'll obviously find myself, Roy, all of our other agents. Look at the properties. You can fill in a spot where it says what you need to do to look for any property. You can put a location. You can put West Maui, South Maui, upcountry. And we've got everything there that you need.
A lot of people just wait too long, and
let's not do that.
Let's get prepared.
Okay, aloha. Aloha from Sakamoto Properties.
Aloha.